Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Indy, and today we're going to review Makis Adventure. Makis Adventure is an action platformer with semi-Metroidvania style elements and ferocious boss battles. You'll fight your way through 3 dungeons by attacking with a sword, dashing through enemies, and probably my favorite parts by turning into a shark. Yeah, you get to turn into a shark. It's freaking awesome. Makis Adventure could even be considered like partial open world, because outside of the dungeons, you can swim around to whatever little island you want and venture off, in shark form. So that's pretty neat. The game is developed by solo developer Mateo Covic. I hope I'm saying that right. Anyways, and while the game is pretty short, I'd say it's around 3 hours to complete. If you're not rushing through it, you can certainly complete this a lot sooner. It definitely offers up some cool moments. Namely, that being the mini games, where you can shoot for the high score in most cases, or even earn some extra coin in others. You'll need those said coins to purchase items such as health potions and strength potions and so on. I didn't really like the way you had to basically pause the game to use your items. But, it was, I don't know. Maybe because it might have been like a controller issue. I don't know. I played it with a controller, so not everything always worked the way that I'm sure it was intended. So it could have been the fact that I was using a controller. Now, I know most people will take a glance at this game and they'll probably go, no thanks. And I understand. Not every game is for everyone, and this one looks quite different than probably what you would normally play. However, Makis Adventure is exactly what I love about indie games. This isn't an overly complicated game with intricate puzzles or a plethora of gear and things to keep up with. Instead, what you get here is a game that says, here, go have some fun. Here's some missions. Here's some little tidbit missions, and that's exactly what I did. And also, the transition between your character and the shark, well, it's seamless, and it's just so cool to play around with. I really had a lot of fun with that. You'll even get other shark options to create even more havoc as you're going along. So, get ready for that. The mini games were fun as well. You can play darts, you can play pool, you can even serve up some tasty refreshments for some extra coin. It's pretty cool. Once again, a few of the mini games, they had issues when it comes to controller functions, but for the most part, they worked just fine. So, not a real big deal there. The dungeon design in each one of these, kind of like levels or whatever, is basic, but it works really well for the game. Having a shark swim up a waterfall, that was just, it was just too much fun, seriously, for me. I had a lot of fun doing that. Then there are some spots where you'll have to ride like a roller coaster or make some sweet moves as you jump from one to another and avoid some lava, and it was just nice. It was really cool. At first, I kept dying over and over again, and it was kind of funny, and I was like, yeah, Well, I'm always bad at these types. Well, I'm always bad at these type of things. And then you add on some decent boss fights, and you have yourself a well-rounded out game. The boss fights are pretty, they can get a little crazy and stuff, but they're not like Dark Souls type boss fights. You're not going to, it's not going to be crazy for you. But that's not to say, that's not to say that there isn't any other issues, or there's not any issues with the game, So, I mean, as I stated before, the controller doesn't always seem to work, and the controls can kind of seem to be weird at times. That's fine, though. It's not a big deal, but I wasn't all that impressed with the actual combat part of the game as well. I couldn't tell whether there was a hitbox on your character or the enemies, like, at all. I couldn't tell. I mean, maybe that's slightly exaggerated a little bit, but it was still an issue. It is kind of an issue in the game. It's not a crazy thing, but it's still an issue. I also have an issue with the ending of this game. I mean, come on. That was not very rewarding after what I thought was a weird and bizarre story to begin with. You as Makis running around with your brother Timu from time to time, and having to defeat the big bad boss, and all this. What was his name? Octavio or something like that. I mean, this is what I love. I love weird and bizarre games. So, yeah, this just fell right into my lap, and I enjoyed it. Makis Adventure is a well-crafted game by first-time solo developer. It's quirky, it's weird, it's a little odd bug-type game. I enjoyed my time playing as Makis and turning into a shark, gobbling up lobsters. The boss fights were decent, but the mini-games were probably the highlight for me, and probably where I spent way too much of my time. There isn't anything overly complicated by the game, and while you might die a few times here and there, it isn't much there just isn't much in the way of consequences for dying, so it's not really that big of a deal, Anyways, simply put, this game is worth the $9.99 price tag. It's short, it's fun, yeah, it's a little rough around the edges at times, but guess what? I am glad that I got to take this adventure. Thank you so much for checking out the video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and go check out the game on Steam. I'll leave the link in the description below. I think it's definitely worth checking out. So, I mean, like I said, it's not a very long game, and it's well worth the price. I enjoyed it, and if you pick it up, I hope you enjoy it as well. And, well, other than that, I will see you in the next video.